All right, man. Shalom. I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Once again, out on the highways and the byways, proclaiming the word called Jesus Christ and God. His name is Yahweh. All right, and like I said, before we get this thing started, man, we gotta give double honor to the apostles. Much salutations to all the options around the about. You know, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow up where we left off at. There's a couple of things we have to finish in terms of dealing with the second siege. We're gonna go towards the situation that happened in Masada in 70 AD, which is a big main thing we have to go into. We're gonna go in depth into this thing, all right, into this part of the history of Israel, more in depth through the spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And then, brothers, you stay up. You know, we almost here, man. World War III is getting ready to take place. And don't be surprised when a major cyber attack occurs, please. Okay? But that's a good thing. Because, and that's for those that are just coming in this thing. What's up? Cyber attack was happening. Big. Okay, well, bring it out, brother, if you can bring it out. Just real quick. You know, you got cyber attacks happening there and there, and then what you had is also, what I looked at yesterday, so you got certain parts, or certain states of the United States of America, where people can't even use their internet. The internet's shut down in certain parts of the US. So you got cyber attacks happening, and the main cyber attack is being prepared. Okay, because what they might wind up doing is they might wind up using the cyber attack and blaming it on the Russians and saying that the Russians are the cause for why we have to go to war, to why we have to close these cities down. Okay, and in that way, therefore, all of the things that we spoke about in these scriptures, going all the way back to the 60s, all right, towards this current days that we're in right now, we've been telling people that such and such was going to happen. And now we're living in the times of it happening. So we are those servants, the prophets coming back to warn our people, them that are Negroid, Latino, and so-called Native American descent, who are the Israelites, and they have to repent back to the Lord, okay? Before it's too late. Because no one is not going to come out here and proclaim the word. Oh man, I got my hat on, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't have that. Yes, lucky, man, for that. But pretty much, like I said before, you know, no one's doing it like us, man. No one's really doing it like us. And what I'm talking about is these pastors that be in these church buildings and these Muslims that be in the mosque buildings and any other form of people that's in certain religious organizations. They're not gonna come out here and let the people know what's really going on. But who's gonna do that? The true men of the Heavenly Father, the true men of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay. So this is coming from the BBC News. One day ago, this is on October the 21st, right? And it says Twitter and Spotify, Reddit, and SoundCloud, and PayPal, and several other sites have been infected by 3 web attacks. All the firms are customers of a company called DEN, which they use to help users find their sites online. In quick succession on Friday, DEN was swamped by 2 attacks that made the sites of its customers hard to reach. It is not clear who is behind the attack or why DEN has been hit. The FBI and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security said they were investigating. Okay, really, I mean, we don't know if they were truly investigating, but I think what they're doing is they're comparing, man. They're preparing in terms of martial law or a time of emergency, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to do away with the internet system. So they're trying it out right now. Yeah, Twitter, all of the top websites. You got Twitter, Spotify, which people use, and Reddit and SoundCloud. These are the major websites that people use. And these websites were shut down. So things are being prepared. Okay, the government of the United States of America is being prepared for an impending emergency. Okay, and you know, here you go, brother. You could actually move it. prophesying about, preaching about for the past, going on just about 50 years now, it's now coming to pass. Okay, back in the 80s, you know, when our elders that came before us, the apostles, okay, they was teaching about martial law. They was going into World War III, and back then, people in the 80s thought they were nuts. They were nutcases, and even in the 90s too. So here we are in the 21st century, bringing you the prophecies of the Heavenly Father still, and as we're bringing it to you, our words are coming to pass by the scriptures. And that's what you call prophesying. Okay, letting the people know about a current event that's going to take place way before time. All right, and that's what we're dealing with right now. So what we're going to dive into is, matter of fact, brother, before you get to that, I want to finish this off real quick. Because what we was doing last week, you can hold that as well. Because what we was going into last week is in terms of dealing with the siege that happened in the Assyrian Empire around the beginning of the 8th century. So we're going to finish this part of it off. Because what you had was, you see what's going on, bro. Right? What you had was you had a siege that took place, okay, in terms of Israel. Israel was involved in a siege by the Assyrians. Because the Assyrians came down on them and invaded their towns and took away their supplies and all of that therein. And the reason why we was going into that last week, and the reason why I want to kind of go into it now and finish it up, is because we're going to go through another siege in these times. And your government is going to shut all of your supplies up, man. Take away all the things, all your daily necessities. So I'm going to finish this thing up. So it says, the capture of Lachish was evidently an event of considerable importance to the king, for he devoted an entire room to the composition market, right? In 3 parts of the colossal human-headed wings, bulls on one pair at each of the 3 doorways leading from the large courtyard. Normally, these figures are only used to mark the most important rooms in the palace. It is somewhere surprising then that the place is not named in any of his accounts of the campaign. The event itself is depicted in a single tableau, or tablet, with the whole sequence shown that they were happening at the same time. So from the left to the right, you see, as this is giving you the map, basically. You're bring it closer to the camera, brother. So as you can see, the Assyrian military, that's where the Jews was at. So they were approaching the Jews inside the palaces. That's how they took hold of the Jews and besieged them in that city. But when you read in the scriptures, I think it's what is in Chronicles, the 2nd chapter, the Lord, the Israelites trusted in the Lord, and I believe the ruler at the time was Hezekiah, right? It was Hezekiah, the king of the Jews at that time. And they followed him and believed in Yahweh Shai, and the Lord delivered them from that situation, so to speak. Okay? And so that's what you have, but I want to finish it off. It says, the event itself is depicted in a single tableau, with the whole sequence shown if they were happening at the same time. So from left to right, you see the approach of the Assyrian army, the assaults on the town, and the capture of the town, and the inhabitants being led into captivity. So they captured the town and put the tribes into captivity. Because I think Judah was in that particular area. All right, and then later on, they took hold of, they really captured the northern kingdom. Okay, but the reason why I'm going into that is because what you're gonna have is you're gonna have the military, all right, militarized police officers, how you will, okay, that's gonna storm through different neighborhoods and take people's goods and everything like that. Because what is it? History has a way of repeating itself all over again. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically now we're gonna dive into what happened in 70 AD. Get me on mappers, brother. You know. Where Yahweh Shai prophesied about becoming siege of 70 AD. Yeah, I'll get it. I know exactly what it's Yeah, this is about the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the real Jews, which makes up the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and Native Americans, if you want to know. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Matthew 24, verse. Let's see, man. We're going to start from Matthew 24, verse 14. Verse 15.
As at Matthew 24 and 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation.
And as you can see, because this brother has a red letter edition Bible, and as you can see, Yahweh Shai was telling the Israelites there's going to come a time where, go on, brother. He's going to explain himself.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Yeah, which you can read that in Daniel's 9th chapter. Go on.
Stand in the holy place.
Because what is the desolation talking about? It's talking about in 60-67 A.D., which was started by, what is it? There was an event that occurred that took place by Titus in the mission and the father of Vespasian. Okay, and they decided to receive Jerusalem. Okay, which we was in that land 2,000 years ago. We knew we were the Israelites. We knew we were the Jews. Okay, and the Roman generals stormed in that land, and that's another historical account that we remember. Okay, so not only does the so-called white man has to pay for putting us in captivity, but he has to also pay for what he did under 2,000 years ago when he stormed us out of the land of Jerusalem. Go on, brother.
When therefore ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Right, because when they went inside the temple, the Roman armies took the menorahs. They took away all of the stuff that we needed. Okay, the gold, everything, and all the accounts, the historical accounts, the background of the nation of Israel, all of that, and then some. So they stole all of that stuff back, and therefore they made it desolate. But the thing with the prophet Daniel, he prophesied that was going to happen. And Yahweh Shai prophesied that was going to happen. Go on.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Right, go on.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. What is the mountains talking about? It's talking about, we're going to show you what it's talking about. Brother, give me the timber. What would you got to the best of your opinion? Because Yahweh Shai told us in the world called Jesus Christ, which he was a so-called black man, he told us, and he told the Israelites at the time, he said, flee into the mountains. Because the Roman generals was going to storm in the land. Okay, 2,000 years ago. But you had a couple of millions of the Jews that stayed in the land and got besieged in the land. So much to the point where they had to eat their own clothes and their own shoes. Okay, go on, brother.
From the book Timbuktu. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
And that's how they fled. That's what it means by fleeing into the mountains. Because our people, you so-called blacks out there, and you so-called Latinos that live here, some of you, okay, this is your history. Okay, this is why our people are in Nigeria today. This is why our people are in Senegal today, all of the parts of West Africa, and some of the remnants of us in different parts of Africa today. Why? Because we are the descendants of those, and even you got our people in America that was taken from the cargoes slave ships, okay, in Jamaica and all of that. We are the same people that had to run out of the land from Jerusalem because of the Romans. Because they came down with great slaughter. Okay? But the main point I'm focusing on is that's going to happen again. All of that's going to happen again because what you're going to have in this society, you're going to have the police officers transforming themselves into the military, okay? And basically they're going to come hard on you people. And they're going to take the supplies, and they've already passed legislation and laws to do just that. Okay, they're going to storm in these ghettos. They're going to storm in these suburban neighborhoods, and they're going to take you inside of a prison camp, a concentration camp. All right. Okay. And other things are going to be able to take what you got, your goods in your house. Go on.
It has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
So we was fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. So it says 1 million Jews from Africa, 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Okay, now this is kind of going over the point a little bit. But this history explains why our people, them that have been 4% are in different parts of the world, scattered abroad, which was a fulfillment of Deuteronomy chapter 28, where it speaks about how we're scattered in 7 ways. Okay, that's why people, they call themselves Nigerian, Senegalese, so-called African Americans, so-called Jamaicans, so-called West Indians, so-called Haitians, and all of that stuff. Okay, because you've been scattered, man. You've been put in these different lands and scattered into these different captivities. Okay, but it was all prophesied for that to happen. But that's going to happen all over again, because what you're going to have all manner of hell like you've never seen before, and like you've never experienced before, is going to happen in these times. You're going to have a major siege. Brother, what we're going to do, brother, is we're going to look at the word siege. I'll look it up, brother. We're going to look this word up again. Which we know what the word means, but we just want to bring home the point. So, yeah, go on, brother. Let me read something you got, but hold on, Matthew 24.
That Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the end of the earth even to the other.
And I mean, that did take place prior to 70A.D. around the Roman Empire. But that prophecy ultimately took place around that time, around 70A.D. because our people went all over the goddamn place, man. When the Romans stormed in the land. Okay? So I'm going to put something real quick. I lost my train of thought, man. Yeah, I said that, but I was looking for something. Yeah. So it says the word siege is a military operation in which enemy forces surround the town or building, cutting off essential supplies with the aim of compelling those inside to surrender. So that's what's going to happen in these times, because what you're going to have when your economy drops bottom, hits rock bottom, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to fight and basically bug out and protest and rise up against the government. So in order for that to be prevented and stopped, guess what? They have to take away your goods so they can stop you from resisting. Okay, that's why the Obama program, and if Hillary Clinton gets in there, that rotten woman, when she gets in there, she's going to continue on where Obama left off at. But what she's going to do is she's going to take away the guns of the American people. Okay? Because you know the American people, they like their guns, and I'm talking about the so-called Europeans, man. They love their guns. Once they take away the guns, then the American people really can't rise up against the government too well. The government will have to be able to control the people. So that's cutting up their supplies, man. Okay? To stop the people then from resisting, because a resistance is going to come to those people. It's all in the Bible, man. Go on, if you got something.
That Jeremiah 15 and 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go? Shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as for death to death, such as for the sword to the sword,
Yes, such are for death to death, and some are to the sword. Go on.
such as for the famine to the famine,
And such are for the famine to the famine. Go on.
and such as for the captivity to the captivity.
And such as for the captivity to the captivity. So you're gonna have certain people that's gonna suffer death, suffer the sword, and you're gonna have some people that's gonna be put in concentration camps as slaves. Okay, and they're gonna reprogram certain ones of the people to accept the new world order ways or religion, so to speak. It's all manner of hell is gonna break loose out here. The floodgates of hell is gonna break loose. You got these Christians out here talking about how hell is at the bottom of the earth. Nah, man. Hell is gonna take place on this planet. And you're gonna see it real soon. Because this place gotta go, man. This society gotta go. It's too evil, it's too wicked, and things are just getting out of hand now. Things have gotten way out of hand in this generation, man, that's coming up, they're bugged out, man. Okay, there's no morals in the society no more. You know what? And you know what? This is why I want to say this as well. This is how you know an empire went down, right? How did you know an empire was about to fall apart? Based on the morality of that empire. When the morals of that empire declined, guess what? You knew that that empire was beginning to be done away with. And guess what? In this particular empire, which is the revival of ancient Rome, we see this society, this cesspool of evil, wicked society such as this, falling apart. Okay? That's what we see going on. Go on, brother. You got something.
As verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear.
What is it? The sword to slay and the dogs to tear, because they're going to be using these dogs on the people. Just like they did back in the 60s, right? When you had so-called Negroes marching for justice and peace when Martin Luther King was on the scene. They're gonna sit dogs on the people now. All right, all of this that get out of hand. And I know it's unbelievable because a lot of these are under this false illusion that everything's jolly, everything's cool, and the world ain't that evil, but we already see it coming. We already see that this world is evil. We see an evil that you don't see. That's getting ready to come. Okay? Now you may look at us like we're crazy or whatever, but that doesn't negate the point. The point still stands. The current event that we've been prophesying about for years is still going to take place, regardless if you understand our language or not. This society is going down, man, and it's going to go down in the most dreadful way ever seen. And these are the ones of our people that want to walk around with their pants sagging, and they want to basically listen to this garbage called rap music today. Okay, they want to just act silly and hold hands with everybody. They're going to get caught out there. And they're going to be put to death, man. And that's the reality of the matter. Now the way you can escape that is by coming back to the truth of the scriptures. That's the only way you can come back. That's the only way you can survive the holy Holocaust that's getting ready to come. And you're going to see what we've been telling you. Go on.
Psalm Matthew 24 and 32.
Keep on.
Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh.
You know that summer is nigh. Go ahead.
So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things.
So you shall see all of these things. What are the things that Yahweh Shah was talking about? The prophecies. So when you see the certain prophecies come to pass in these times, know that the end is not. And how do we see the prophecies? Do we watch Coronation Street? Do we watch EastEnders? Do we watch X Factor? Right? No, we watch the news. We read news articles and everything, if we got the time. So when we watch the news and we read news articles, guess what? What pops in our minds? Oh, that prophecy. Or Isaiah 10, in this particular verse came to pass. Okay? Or Matthew's, the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter, or something like that came to pass. Okay? So when we see something happening on the news, what comes to our mind is certain scriptures that we fulfill, that are coming to pass. Go on.
So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors.
So it says, when you see all of these prophecies come to pass, know that it is there and it is even at the door, meaning the end of this revival of ancient Rome, which is where we're at right now. Go on.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass.
Now when you read Matthew 24, it jumps backwards and forwards. It talks about the times that we're in right now, and it also deals with the times back 2,000 years ago, about 70 AD and stuff like that. Go on.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled.
Go on.
Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
Right, so until this generation pass, all must be fulfilled. And what generation was he talking about? Was he talking about 2,000 years ago? No. He was talking about this generation. So in this generation, what you're going to have is you're going to have the mark of the beast come in effect, right, which is the microchip, the NFC microchip, or in the United States, they call it the RFID microchip. And other prophecies are going to come to pass in this generation. Once these things come to pass, then we'll know we're not at the door. And we're not reading the Quran, we're reading the Bible. Okay, the history of ourselves is what we read, which Pastor Charlie Porkchop can't tell you, even to save his life. Okay? The Bible is the book of the so-called black man, the so-called Latino man, and Native American man. It shows you how to basically walk. Okay, it shows you how to conduct yourself in your life, how to conduct the planet and its laws, and all of that therein. So this is the book that we follow, we go by. All right? That's the whole thing. So that's what we're going in right now. So the reason why we're touching on 70 AD, because 70 AD is going to come back, and the siege of the Assyrian Empire is going to come back. Okay, and it's all going to be compacted in one. That's why it tells you in Daniel's 12th chapter that there's going to come a day, what is it? Such as there was since it was a nation. Okay? So what you got, brother? Okay. You see, for so long, right? You know, as a nation of people, the Israelites, we've been looked down on. We've been scoffed at. We've been made fun of on TV. Okay? All right? We've been spiritually and physically oppressed, pressed down. And now it's time for us to get our thing back, man. Now it's time for us to get our jig back. The Lord brought us down so low, basically because of what we did was wrong. But now, what's happening right now, His people are raising up. And how do you tell that? By the prophets standing out in the highways and the byways. Now it's time for us to root. Now it's time for us to experience the covenant which the Lord established, going all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's what it's time for now. It's time for us to take rulership on this planet. That's what it's time for. It's time for the Hawashai in the world called Jesus Christ to take position on the planet. Okay, because the so-called white man, he's proven himself to be the great Satan that the Bible speaks about, and he's fulfilled his lot. Now that he's fulfilled his lot, now he's going to deal with the judgment. But when these devils come down like a storm, right, and come down in great wrath pursuant to Revelation 12, that's going to be the end of it. Because when the so-called white man gets down and dirty, man, he's going to come down so wrathful, as I stated last week, so much to the point that he's even going to come storm down in his own people. So get what you got, brother. What you got? Okay, I'll tell you what, go back to Matthew 24. And what I want to do as well, read what you got, then I'm going to go in depth in terms of what really took place in 70 AD, because we're going to go in more in depth in that part of the history. You could just read what you got.
Was that?
I think he was in Hebrews in, I think it's 16 or something. I don't think it's 16.
Yeah, then let them check it.
Yeah. That's it. Which verse is that? Okay. That was actually a wild guess.
So Matthew 24 and 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet,
Yeah. Go on.
stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Right, and that's what Yahweh Shah was telling the Jews at the time, warning them of the Romans to besiege Jerusalem. All right, and this took place after he died. I believe 30 plus years after he died or something like that, and it surely happened. So it's like right now we're telling our people to get right and come back to the Lord, okay, and receive this truth and come under the spiritual ark before the Lord lays the floodgates of the destruction that He has written down. All right, go on.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Okay.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Right, and as we went into it, right, the fleeing up to the mountains is talking about the different regions where the Jews fled into. Okay, like I said it before, that's why you got our people. I mean, I don't need to go off topic here, but it's a part of the scripture, so I got to go into it. Now, that's the reason why you have the Muslim people. Once again, as I'm going to explain again, okay, that's why you got our people, Israelites, that are in West Africa, remnants of them in South Africa, remnants of them in certain parts of East Africa, and in India and in North Africa, okay? Because he ran into those different areas, fleeing from what? The so-called white man, which he called himself at the time a Roman. Okay? So that's a big thing to be reminded of, because you know, brothers are reminded of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, but you got to be worrying about also, and always be remindful of, is 70 AD. And that's a very important part of history that we have to remember. Because on top of that as well, it's going to come back again. Go on.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the mount housetop not come down to take him anything out of his house.
And that's why Yahweh Shah said, look, just don't even worry about your stuff in your crib. Just go out from Masada, basically. Go on.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give sack in those days.
Now that's twofold, because during that time, when the siege took place, you had pregnant women that was giving suck to their children. Not pregnant women, but they had newborn babies that just came out of the womb. They was giving suck in those days. And when the Roman generals came through, which is the so-called white man, he didn't give two dimes. He went right inside that city and slaughtered those people and shut them supplies up. Okay, now we mad about that? Hell yeah, we're mad about that. But at the same time, the reason why that had went down because our people was wicked as hell. That's why that really went down. And guess what? That don't mean that Esau, okay, called the Edomite that the Bible speaks about, the so-called white man, that don't mean he's going to get up scot-free from the evilness, the ill deeds that he has done. Because it tells you, what is it? My favorite scripture, Colossians 3:25. Matter of fact, brother, anybody get me Colossians 3:25. But you can't do all type of wickedness